Okay. Okay, folks, good evening. Welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk. Sorry I was a few seconds late here. If you're new here, we do this every week. We go over some of the tech stories from the past week, from last Friday to this Friday. And if you are new here, please say something in the comments and let us know where you're from. Um, Most of the time, or at least half the time, it's just me giving you the stories for the week. Sometimes Ted from Texas drops by. Never know when when he has the time. And once in a great while, Will, who was one of the guys that I started this with, 5 years ago now, I guess, he'll pop in occasionally, but he works during the week and weekends, two full-time jobs. So it's always a miracle when he comes in. And the first one in tonight was Brian. Brian was in like half an hour ago. Glad to have him here. And Eleanor just popped in. Glad you came in, Eleanor. She said, hi, Brian. So, as I do every week, I'll show you where you can see the stories from tonight, which is going to be on my webpage. So let me show that. So here's the show notes from tonight. If you go to my webpage, which is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, if you click on today's date, you'll get just tonight's show notes. So every week I pick stories that I think will be interesting. I try to include any big presentation or any big story that I thought was out there. Tonight, probably everybody knows what the big story is. I try to make that second to give people a minute to get in. So the first story tonight, which I think is a very interesting story, is OpenAI's, I should have said next big step in AI. It's called Strawberry, gives U.S. government agencies early access, and that's on a site called Imaginative. So OpenAI is like the biggest AI company out there, and I gather their next upgrade is going to be a pretty big one, so we'll go over that. Then we have what I think is easily the big story of the week worldwide, I'd say. Pavel Durov, Telegram CEO, arrested in France last Saturday. Pretty much everybody knows it, but we're going to go over a story from Slate and check that out. And Annette's in here. Hey, Annette, glad you popped in. Got our regulars all coming in. That's always great. All right, so of course, that is the big story of the week. After that, then we'll go on to stories that I just thought were interesting. Some publishers are disallowing Apple's AI data collection bots. So, Apple's out there collecting as much data as they can for their Apple Intelligence, but now all these sites have a way to stop that bot from getting to their data. So we'll check that out. Another Apple story, and I just thought it was interesting. Latest iOS beta 18.1, beta 3, adds new features. So that's on Tom's Guide. And a Gemini story. Google re-releasing Gemini AI image generating tool once more. You remember the last time they had their image generation tool out there. It was some pretty embarrassing stuff. So we'll go over that. And the last one, I just found this story interesting. Now, Eleanor could tell you, my ex-son-in-law, her son-in-law, her daughter, they live in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I happened to see this story, and I just thought it was really interesting. Cheyenne, Wyoming could have had the nation's first AI chatbot, I said co-mayor. That's a story on Denver 7. But this guy actually wanted to run as mayor, and he wanted the chatbot to make all the decisions if he had become mayor, which he didn't. So I just thought that was interesting. Hey, Renz is in here. Hey, Renz, glad to see you, brother. Renz is probably on his way to work because he's 12 hours ahead of us. It's Saturday morning where he is out in the Philippines. And he always apologized. He said, sorry, I've been busy. Yes, I know you have to support a family. You're allowed to do that, Renz, but thank you so much. Always glad when you're in here. Alice Green, welcome, sir. Glad to have you in here. Doing very well. He's saying hello. Renz is saying hello to everybody. Okay, so those are the stories we're going to go over. Right. Nothing else new in here, so I'm going to go back to the top. And if Ted happens to come in and join us, of course, it's always a better show when he joins us. I will certainly let you guys know. But I'm going to start with the OpenAI story. So back to sharing screen. So OpenAI's next, it should have said next. I can't type. Big step in AI, which is called Strawberry, gives U.S. government agencies early access. Now, to me, whenever these tech companies give the government early access, that's always suspicious to me, but that's just how I see it. So let's go over to Imaginative and check out the story. OpenAI has demonstrated Strawberry AI capabilities to U.S. national security officials. So that's heavy duty stuff when you go into national security officials. And this is from 3 days ago, and it was written by Chris McKay. So let's drop into Reader View, get rid of some of these ads. OpenAI has quietly showcased its latest AI breakthrough, codenamed Strawberry, to U.S. national security officials, according to a new report by The Information. This demonstration aligns with the company's recently announced safety and security protocols, which include providing early government access to new AI models. In other words, they're trying to stay in good with the government officials, especially since we know what our next area is going to have something to say. So all these big shot companies, they're going to want to stay in good with their officials in whatever country they are in. Strawberry, previously known as Q, is reportedly is reportedly a significant technical leap forward in AI capabilities, particularly in complex problem solving and reasoning. I'm not the only one that can't type. The technology is expected to excel in areas where current AI models struggle. So they're expecting a big jump forward, such as mathematical problems and programming tasks. According to sources familiar with the project, OpenAI is using Strawberry to generate high-quality training data for its next flagship language model, codenamed Orion. So Strawberry is the big step forward. Orion is the one they're using in conjunction with it. This approach could potentially reduce errors and hallucinations, in other words, their screw-ups, in AI responses by providing more accurate examples of complex reasoning. So they think this is really going to be a big step forward. However, OpenAI's ambitions with Strawberry extend beyond improving Orion. The company is also exploring a smaller, distilled version of Strawberry for potential integration into chat-based applications like ChatGPT. Pardon me. This model could enhance reasoning capabilities in scenarios where users require more thoughtful, detailed answers rather than quick responses. Earlier this month, OpenAI announced its collaboration with the U.S. AI Safety Institute, granting the government early access to its next major AI model for safety testing. So glad there's a U.S. Safety Institute, because AI needs somebody watching over it. Oh, Renz, as always, Renz is being very kind. Thank you so much, sir. You're always very kind. Okay. The agreement is part of a growing trend where frontier model providers, Google, Meta, Anthropic, Microsoft, et al., engage with government agencies. See, they're all trying to get in good with the government agencies to ensure that advancements in AI align with national security and safety concerns. In other words, they want to make sure the government officials see that they're doing what they're told. And based on Telegram, that's probably a good idea. The idea is to prioritize transparency, preemptively address concerns before they happen related to AI's rapid development and stave off unnecessary regulation. For OpenAI, these efforts are part of a larger strategy to engage policymakers and strengthen its safety credentials. In other words, let's get the politicians on their side. The partnership with the U.S. AI Safety Institute signals a deliberate shift towards greater collaboration with governments. Yeah, after last Saturday, I do the same thing. A move mirrored by a similar agreement with the UK. So they're starting to make these agreements with all the governments because the governments have all the power and they know it. This renewed focus on safety comes in response to earlier criticisms that the company may have been sidelining safety research, particularly after the controversial disbanding of its super alignment team, which was responsible for controlling super intelligent AI systems. Yes, when they fired their CEO last November, and he came right back. However, since then, OpenAI has established a safety and security committee. Yeah, but it's theirs. And brought on safety and security experts like former NSA Director General Paul Nakasone and Carnegie Mellon's Zico Coulter to its board. And it's always members of the government that have come to. These people go back and forth between these companies and government organizations like constantly. It's like a revolving door. Additionally, the company has committed 20% of its computing resources to safety efforts, further underscoring its dedication to responsible AI development. We can only hope. As OpenAI continues to push to make larger and more capable AI models, the community remains divided on whether these measures provide sufficient safeguards against potential risk. Well, it's the kind you got to wait and see, I guess. While the company remains tight-lipped about specific product launches, OpenAI's recent interactions with government officials and its ongoing work on Orion suggests that something big is on the horizon. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Whether Strawberry will emerge as a standalone product or remain a critical tool for training future AI models like Orion, its development could mark a turning point for the AI industry. So they're really thinking this is the next big step. So I wanted to go over that, but it's interesting how, and I had picked that story. That was the first story I picked for tonight's show. And I had picked it before I even put in the next story. But, of course, nothing new. Okay. Of course, the next story is the big story of the week. Pavel Durov, Telegram CEO, arrested in France. And this is on a site called Slate. Why the arrest of Telegram CEO should worry everyone, yes, including you. And they mean it. That's very true. Pavel Durov was arrested by French authorities on Saturday, kicking off a firestorm of concerns about government overreach, privacy and free speech. And I did hear on a couple of other podcasts how low, to me anyway, how low is this? Now, this guy is a multi-billionaire, which he earned with Telegram. And, of course, he has his own private jet. He left Russia a number of years ago, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago. He lives in Dubai. That's his residence. And how did they get him to come to France so they can arrest him? Well, the president of France invited him for dinner, and as soon as his plane landed, they arrested him. Nice. I just think that was really, really low down. All right, so this was 2 days ago, written by Nitish Pahwa. So let's drop this into reader view. And like the story says, this eventually could affect everybody on Earth, but certainly all the big shots are kind of worried if they can arrest him, they can arrest any of them. Pavel Durov was arrested by French authorities on Saturday. Oh, I already read that. Okay. If you're connected to the tech world or even slightly interested in it, you probably noticed and were maybe even alarmed by a major event this past weekend: the sudden arrest of Telegram CEO Pavel Durov by French authorities at Le Bourget airport outside Paris late Saturday night. This action was reportedly taken as part of the French government's investigation into illegal activity coordinated across Durov's app, a secretive message, which I don't know if I'd call it secretive, platform often employed by networks of criminals and scammers. And I think they have to prove that yet, though by no means exclusively so. And basically, well, we even got Mike. You could pop in here, Mike. You know, you're allowed to do that. He's probably out there making money. And let me say, basically, their problem with Pavel is he's a real free speech guy, and he won't look over the shoulder of everybody who's on his platform. So they're trying to hold him responsible for that. And this is what they're all worried about. Okay. It took until Monday for the French government to provide an official release on the charges it was investigating, including, and this is the big one, complicity in the distribution of drugs and child sexual abuse material with regard to a different suspected criminal. So it's not that they suspect him of it. Oh, thank you, Brian. As always, you're very kind, sir. It's not that they suspect him of it, but they're saying he's not giving them the person who they think is doing it. And his attitude, he's not supposed to do that, but they say otherwise. After holding him for 96 hours, French law enforcement transferred Durov from police custody. Yeah, I think they have a time limit that they have to actually charge from that point, to a Parisian court where he awaits for further questioning and a possible indictment as of Wednesday afternoon. Now, of course, this, I think, was written on Wednesday. Update on Wednesday. Le Monde reported Wednesday that French judge has indicted Durov on all 12 charges laid out by the French Court of Justice. Per a judicial press release, Durov is to be placed under judicial supervision with the obligation to pay bail of 5 million euros, that's easy for him, to report to the police station twice a week, and to be banned from leaving French territory. And I think that's why they wanted him in France. Now they will not let him leave. And, you know, I think Zuckerberg, all of them are worried about the same thing happening to them. So Mike is watching. Don't know if he's going to come in. There were a few other details offered about Durov's prosecution in the immediate aftermath, and there remain plenty of questions as well as legitimate concerns about why all this is happening in the first place. So naturally, the initial reaction sent out even bigger digital shockwaves than the arrest itself had. Right-wingers like Tucker Carlson, who interviewed Durov on his post-Fox News online show back in April. Yeah, I watched that interview. It was a great interview. And calls him a friend. Declared that his arrest was an indicator of democratic backsliding among NATO member nations like France and the United States. Now, what you have to understand, folks, is it's not only France, United States, Britain, Western nations. You know, he left Russia because all the governments feel like you cannot keep this stuff from them. So they're all in agreement there. So I don't think it would matter for the most part which countries you're from. All the powerful companies think you have to give them access to your people. And that's what this is basically all about. This sentiment was echoed by venture capitalist and podcaster David Sachs, who implied that an international deep state apparatus had worked to crack down on this free speech platform. Yeah, I'm sure they're all agreeing that this is what they want to do. An odd theory considering that French President Emmanuel Macron himself uses Telegram. Yeah, but he's the guy who invited him for dinner so they could arrest him too, and had held a private lunch with Durov in 2018. Elon Musk acolytes such as Ian Miles Cheong and Naomi Siebert catapulted off Sachs's claim to warn that this was all a pretext for these governments to go after X. Yeah, I bet you Elon's next. Another supposed free speech bastion. So, all these big shot tech owners are all scared, and probably should be. Other reactions were more uncertain due to the vague nature of the case. And I'm thinking they're keeping it vague on purpose. The New York Times' Zenap Tufekci urged caution before calling Durov's arrest a free speech infringement. So he's saying maybe it's not a free speech infringement. As did Stanford Cyber Policy Center expert Daphne Keller. TechDirt's Mike Masnick noted that the French press release had not calmed the concerns that this is overreach. Yeah, a lot of us think it's overreach, but nothing has made it clear that it definitely is an overreach either, so they're not sure. A legal counselor for the digital rights watchdog Access Now tweeted that even though Telegram has historically been terrible about protecting its users and abiding by regulations, the French government's actions could still set a troubling precedent for government overreach. Yeah, because Pavlov doesn't think that they have the right to just look at his users' data, and they think they do. And they think he's keeping them from criminals, and he's thinking he wants to stay out of it, but they're not going to let him stay out of it. Because Telegram is popular primarily in other countries. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I've seen a couple of other podcasts. One of the big users of Telegram is the CIA. Interesting, isn't that? Americans may know little about Pavel Durov, his signature app, and why any of this matters. And it does matter, even if you're completely in the dark on the exact reasons. Allow me to break it all down below. Yes, it's going to matter to all of us at some point. Durov is a Russian tech entrepreneur who rose to success in the mid-2000s when he was inspired by the emergence of Facebook to create a similar social network for Russian users. With the help of two university classmates and his older brother Nikolai, Durov launched the website Vkontakte, I think, or Contacte, better known as VK to the public in 2007. It became Russia's most popular social network, a status it maintains today. I had never heard of it. However, Durov clashed with the Russian government, you think, on multiple occasions. In 2011, after officials demanded that VK scrub accounts belonging to opposition politicians, they all feel this way, contesting that year's elections, and in 2014, when Russia requested personal data belonging to various Ukrainian protesters, and also asked that Durov obscure famed dissident Alexei Navalny's page from broader access. Now, of course, his attitude is it's their data, not mine. He's not showing it. After these conflicts, Durov was fired from VK, inspiring him to flee Russia. So that's when he left. So that would have been 2014, and began working on a different venture. I assume that venture was Telegram? Correct. The year before he left VK and Russia, Durov worked again with Nikolai to develop and launch Telegram, meant to be a secure and fun platform that offered various means by which users could protect from undue surveillance the messages they sent to one another. Encryption options, and this is what the governments don't like, lack of ability to forward messages from one established chat room to a different one, increased bandwidth for quickly transmitting large files and attachments, an option to set self-destruct timers on particular. And of course, we're all on Telegram too. With Mike and Will and Ted and I, that's where we do our communicating back and forth about Friday Night Tech Talk. Let's see, Mike is asking, let's see. This news piece, I'm learning something. Didn't know how big. Oh, it's going to get a lot worse. And believe me, Mike, it's going to affect you, me, and everybody else. He's asking, are there any side effects to apps like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger? Side effects. Well, I mean, WhatsApp is one of the ones that has encryption, and the governments don't like that. And I'm thinking that's probably why Mark did what he did in releasing that open letter about the government pressuring him because of this whole business. Anyway, back to my story. So you can see all the features that they put in Telegram, of course, attracted people, and of course, it's very private. Such features, particularly the forwarding and storage terms, as well as the wide number of participants who could join one relatively unregulated chat room. Yeah, I've heard on another podcast that 200,000 people can join in at the same time on the same chat. Differentiated Telegram from other secure texting apps like Signal and WhatsApp. It also became something of a social network. Yeah, and I think they weren't expecting that, but yeah, it's kind of both. Telegram rode its creators' fame to garner hundreds of thousands of users within months of its launch, earning quick uptake in regions including Middle East and East Asia. So all over the world, this is very, very popular, where communicators look to duck government overreach and censorship. So yeah, you can see why criminals would be attracted to it too. In subsequent years, Telegram's base grew to encompass hundreds of millions of users, many of them based in South Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, and even Durov's home country of Russia. Seems like a cool app. What's the issue? There have been many. One of them deals with the nature of Telegram's supposed encryption. Yeah. And this came out a few years ago. We all thought that Telegram was completely encrypted end to end. Well, it is for some paying people, but not for the rest of us. For the rest of us, it's encrypted to some degree. Unlike WhatsApp and Signal, both are end-to-end encryption. Is not the default option for messages on the platform, and it's difficult for lay users, that's you and me, to manually encrypt each conversation they'd wish to protect, as Johns Hopkins University professor and cryptographer Matthew Green has written. For those of you who don't know, I was a programmer until I retired. I was a programmer for 34 years. In my last bunch of years, I used to actually write some use encryptions in my job all the time. So yeah, I could probably write an encryption for myself for everything I wanted to send on Telegram, which is real easy to do if you know how, but it would be a real pain for people who are not programmers or developers. This is before you even get into the custom chat rooms and one-way broadcast channel with large numbers of participants. Telegram's most popular and least secured feature. So it's least secured because it's only partially encrypted. With its lack of default encryption for the vast majority of messages, plus its habit of storing messages in plain text on its servers, Telegram's contents were clearly not as safeguarded as its marketing would have you believe. And that's true. In the beginning, we all thought everything was encrypted. Well, everything isn't unless you're a paying customer. And I guess that's why the governments want this stuff so bad, because the people who are paying, well, yeah, they've got end-to-end encryption, I guess, including criminals. So, yeah, the governments can't see what they're doing, and they want to see. Oh, yeah, and maybe it wasn't a great free speech platform either, given that it granted a 2017 request from the Iranian government to shut down a grassroots protest channel that had called for violent action. Well, I can see where you don't want violent action. Though in fairness, the app has stood firm against other censorship orders from autocracies like Myanmar and Russia, the latter of which temporarily banned the app in 2018. Other issues were reputational. If you've heard of Telegram at any point over the past few years, it was probably because you'd stumbled across a story of the app being used for crimes. Actually, I hadn't. For crimes scams, distribution of unlawfully hacked or stolen data, which I gather would be easier to do, to send it over there, sales of illegal products like drugs and weapons, and the non-consensual spread of sex and pornographic images, including child sexual abuse. I guess they could do all that, secretly. That makes perfect sense. Durov's principled stance against government-driven privacy violations often ran up against the app's lack of, now get this, there's three lack ofs: lack of user protection, lack of anti-crime provisions, and lack of internal moderation. In other words, he's not looking and his people are not looking at what you're doing. And the governments find that to be a problem, which allowed many hateful actors to transmit horrific rhetoric and video. Now, of course, you're assuming that because since you can't see it, you can't be positive, but you would think that's true. Its anti-government stance also meant that it refused to even voluntarily report, and this is where I kind of disagree with him, to regulatory authorities instances of distribution of child sexual abuse material, which made international law enforcement's job all the more difficult. I think they should report that stuff. So what landed Durov in trouble this time? The details remain sketchy, yeah, and I think that's on purpose. But here's what we know for sure. On Saturday, Durov flew from Azerbaijan to France on his private jet along with his bodyguard, a crypto influencer named Julie Vavilova, and was arrested after disembarking at Le Bourget, where the French Child Sexual Abuse Investigation Agency, OFMIN, served him a warrant. Per the release from the French Court of Justice, the ongoing investigation, which kicked off July 8th, was not meant to specifically target Durov. There is allegedly a different, still unidentified individual in the crosshairs. So that's probably one of the people that they want him to tell them who he is and how to get to his stuff. According to a Wednesday morning Politico report, France sent out arrest warrants for Durov and Nikolai back in March, that's his brother, after the messaging platform gave no answer to an earlier judicial request to identify a Telegram user. So yeah, the fact that they refused to answer them got them in serious trouble. This user, according to the French undercover investigation that spurred the warrant, evidently discussed luring underage girls into sending self-produced child pornography, threatening to release it on social media, and told the investigations he had raped a young child. So you'd want to know that. Is it true? I don't know. But you could see where they would certainly want to know about that. Following Telegram's refusal to name the suspect, French law enforcement called the platform out with regard to the other criminal activities that occurred there, as well as the Durov's consistent avoidance of government authority. That's true. That's why he lives in Dubai, I believe. In addition, Durov is the subject of a criminal complaint in Switzerland, didn't know this, per Forbes, which was filed by a former partner of his who claimed that he regularly abused one of the children they'd had together. And I've heard other videos on that, and I gather he cut off her money in relation to the child they had together, and she got mad, and all of a sudden, these childs came against him in Switzerland. The case has no, and I think the amount that she was getting up to that point was $500,000 a month. All of a sudden, he cut it off. She got mad. Understandable. That case has no bearing on Francis, but it signals further legal trouble for Durov. Yeah. So Durov is definitely being held liable for something. And I think, like I said, they're keeping this vague on purpose. There is only one direct charge in the French court's release: money laundering, and the rest are far more abstract. There are 6 complaints for which the accused is held to be complicit. And that's the whole thing. They're saying he's complicit in all of these crimes: possessing and spreading child porn, managing an online platform for illegal transactions, committing organized fraud, that could mean anything, providing access to hacking tools without legitimate reason, and selling drugs. That's 5, I think. One further charge consists of refusal to communicate. Yeah, that's the big one, because they don't like it when you won't answer them. Refusal to communicate help or material to appropriate crime busting authorities, and yet another involves a vague criminal association with a view to committing a crime or an offense punishable by 5 or more years of imprisonment. So they're saying he's complicit in all these things. They're not saying he did these things, but they want people and information about those people. The most worrying charges for free speech advocates come at the end. There are 2 counts around the provision of cryptology services. In this case, privatized messaging encoded to be invisible to third parties, they don't like that don't require users to register their real identities or prove that they're not criminals. So the fact that they have to prove that they're not criminals is saying you're guilty until proven innocent. That's kind of backwards to me. There's one more count of importing such a service without prior declaration, which would imply that France sees the use of internationally based unregulated encryption service as a crime all its own. So this is where it gets real serious for everybody worldwide. If France makes encrypting anything on an app totally illegal, you can bet they're all going to jump on that, and then we all lose privacy completely. And it sure seems like that's what they're leaning towards. If Telegram is being targeted for simply existing as the secretive platform it purports to be, that could certainly spell trouble for digital privacy globally. Whether or not you like Telegram, the fact is that messaging services with options for end-to-end encryption, like WhatsApp, are an essential, popular, and easily accessible means by which users can avoid undue surveillance from repressive governmental authorities, overly intrusive cops, and bad faith actors who'd like to disrupt righteous protests and rallies. So if they could get rid of the encryption, they could find out about any of these people they want. If France decides that encryption itself is bad because criminals may use it, its fellow European Union members may wish to follow suit, and privacy all over the world will suffer. And if they, like I said, if they do that, it's going to affect every single one of us in the world who use any of these online apps. So that's why it is the big story, and that's why it's such a big deal to Zuckerberg, to Elon, and like I said, I think Elon's going to be next. So that's the big story of the week, and no TED as yet. Okay, nothing new. All right, so we'll continue on down. And I just found this one interesting. Some publishers are disallowing Apple's AI data collection bot. That's on Phone Arena. So let's go take a look. And, a lot of people have been suing OpenAI and other companies because they've been scraping their data and not paying for it. So Apple's AI training faces backlash as major publishers opt out by Alexander Anastasov. Yeah, I got that right. And this was from yesterday. Let's jump into reader view. Is Apple's AI momentum about to crash? A growing number of news outlets and social platforms are saying no to the tech giant's data-hungry web crawlers. For decades, these digital bots have been quietly collecting information from the internet, feeding it to everything from search engines to AI models. But as AI has become more powerful, the stakes have risen. Now publishers are drawing a line in the sand, demanding control over their content and challenging Apple's AI ambitions. And I agree with them, because if it's our data, you have no right to come and take it without paying me for it. And 2, you have to make a deal with me. I may not want you to take it, pay or not. So I'm with the publishers on this. Apple's web crawler, Applebot, was initially designed to power features like Siri and Spotlight. However, it has recently taken on another big role, gathering data to train Apple's foundational AI models, or what the company calls Apple Intelligence. This data includes text, images, and other content. Oh, wait, we got a miracle here. We got a miracle here. We got Mike in here. Wait a minute.
Hold on, I'm trying. I'm trying. Is it
Mike,
working?
I'm amazed you got him. Surprised you're not out making money.
George, never. You know what's consistent, George?
Right.
Change. Change is
Well,
consistent.
that's true. Hey, I'm 79 years old. I know all about that. Trust me.
Yeah. So
Oh, and of course, you took me back to Bowie because my mind immediately
he
changes.
did. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The singer never leaves, as you well know.
Yeah, I know
All
that.
right,
I know.
how's everything with you and Patty and Carol and
E-
everybody up there?
Everything's good. Everybody's
Good.
good. Everybody's healthy. Um, busy. We're making arrangements. We're going to try and get Mom moved in to Adam's house.
Oh, okay, good.
And so I'm kind of preoccupied with that. I had to. I've done a year and a half, almost going maybe a year and 3/4 of go doing DoorDash,
Right.
and I have some thoughts and opinions about these app companies, these gig companies.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep this PG as best I can. And I
Okay.
kind
Good.
of realized, I got to stop and I got to take time to smell the roses, as they say.
All right. Let me finish up the story, and
By
then I'm
all
just
means,
going to let
please. I'm on
I'm
my
going to let you
tablet.
talk. All right. I'm going to let you talk as soon as the
Yeah, yeah,
story
yeah.
is done.
Please.
All right. So back to the story. To appease publishers, Apple introduced Applebot Extended, a tool that allows website owners to opt out of AI training. So Apple just gave them a tool that they can shut off Apple's bot. So while the option exists, many publishers are taking advantage of it by updating their robots.txt files. I guess that everybody has that robot.txt files. They can block Applebot and other crawlers from accessing their content. So let's find out what robots.txt is. Robot.txt is a file used by website owners to control which bots can access their content, which kind of tells me, I guess I might have that on my website too. Publishers are increasingly using it to block AI bots from scraping their websites for training data, as they should, in my opinion. This is due to concerns about copyright and the potential misuse of their content, and besides not getting paid for their content. While robots.txt is a relatively simple tool, I would think it would be, it has become, it's funny because I was a programmer for 34 years, I can almost picture that text file in my head because it's got to be something very simple. It has become more complex in the age of AI. With the rapid emergence of new AI agents, it can be challenging for publishers to keep their block list up to date. As a result, many are turning to services that automatically update their robots.txt files, which makes sense. As more and more of these AI companies spring up, it's hard for companies to keep that file up. So I guess you'd hire somebody to keep that file up. The backlash: since the robots' text files are publicly accessible, it means that everyone can see which parties are opting out of Apple's AI training, which is exactly what Wired did. Turns out that some media outlets like the New York Times, for example, and they've been ones who's very outspoken against people scraping data, has been outspoken in its criticism of Apple's opt-out approach. The paper, which is suing OpenAI over copyright infringement, that's been going on for a few months, argues that publishers shouldn't have to opt out to begin with. Instead, a permission must be required for web crawlers to gain access to the media. And I agree with them. They shouldn't automatically be able to come get your data. You should have to opt in for them to come get your data. So I totally agree with the New York Times, which I rarely do. Other popular websites that have opted out also include Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Craigslist, the Financial Times, The Atlantic, Vox Media, USA Network, and Wired's parent company, Condé Nast. Yeah, because Wired belongs to Condé Nast, so does Vox Media, so does The Atlantic, probably others too. So what's next? Will Apple be forced to rethink its AI strategy? Well, they probably have collected most of the data already. Or will it find a way to appease publishers and continue its data-driven ambitions? The battle for control of the internet's digital gold mine is far from over. Yes, true, because as publishers publish more data, well, they're going to want to go get that data. And Mike said, hello to all. You got Brian excited. Eleanor's excited that you're here. All right, let me get out of this. Let me stop screen. Okay, so we're,
I hit something. I'm on my tablet.
okay.
I'm on my tablet. So
I was surprised when you weren't there, and I'm like, oh, I had to click it again.
No,
I thought I
yeah.
did it.
No. I'm on my tablet, and this was the only way I could get quickly set up. George, I haven't turned on my computer that's up here in the studio close to a year, probably.
Really?
I want to say because any of the videos I did, I probably did it off the phone.
So the last time you and I were together in that room was one of the last times you were in that room.
No. I was in here before. Oh, wait a minute. Your birthday's in September or October?
No, Eleanor's birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks.
I remember. Well, anyway, I planned the trip to come down to see you on this computer here, and shortly after that, I probably never made it back up here. I've just been working my butt off
I know you have.
DoorDash. So,
but you've been getting the tech stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I thought, please, I thought this would be an opportunity to share some of my experiences of what I've done, and and some of the things I've been in, tech wise. I'm trying to on the tech side of my DoorDashing stuff.
Well, as long as you haven't been here, whether you want to talk about your tech stuff, whether you want to,
you know what? I mean, last time I was on with you.
Yours.
I was on. Yours. Thank you. I was on with you when I was in down to see you. That was the last. Technically, that was the last time.
Which was Christmas week last year.
Right. Technically, that was the last time I did anything with tech and doing anything with my channel. I did one video like a month or two ago, but so
that's right. I saw that video. So did Eleanor, I think.
Yeah. So I say how I don't even know where I want to go. Let me start with the DoorDash apps or the apps, and I say plural because there's DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, and I had a moment. I had an epiphany that I'm working my off. I'm literally coming. Some days come home, get a bite to eat, go out and DoorDash, or go out and do Grubhub. And
I didn't know you did Grubhub too.
Yeah, I do Grubhub now, and that's the thing. That's what's come down to is you got to be versatile. You got to change. You got to go. You could go to either you're supposed to be independent, but what makes these apps scumbags in plain English is they have a certain criteria of so many orders you accept, so many orders that you decline, so many orders that you complete. I know Grubhub has you got to get the order done in a certain amount of time. The time allotted,
especially with Grubhub.
Yeah. So the epiphany was like to be able to dash now on DoorDash platform is I have to have 100 deliveries, but it's a rolling 100. And
100 deliveries in what time frame?
30 days.
Okay.
So whatever I did, what is this, August? So whatever I did July 30th is going to fall off.
Okay.
And you're chasing the rabbit. In my case,
now you're really educating me and us.
Yeah.
So this is good.
Yeah. So I'm like going, I'm killing myself. And then
Right.
I gotten onto the Grubhub platform, and that seems to pay a little bit better.
Oh,
And
good.
then the option to, like, if DoorDash is giving you garbage, you go to Grubhub and you turn that on.
Okay. Now,
And
how long have you been doing Grubhub? When did you start that?
I signed up back in like October, but I never really got into it until the last few months.
Okay.
Real
Good.
Because the orders have been coming. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
trash?
Yeah.
Not much trash, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
good.
But I had
Good.
tonight. I went out before coming on, and I gotten some good orders. And
Good.
but I gotta temper my I gotta temper my that drive. Like, I just love the chase. I love the
Okay.
absolute chase.
Yeah.
So like I said, this is why I'm on tonight, because I said, you know what? I took today off.
Okay.
I
Good
helped my
for you.
brother do so. I did some stuff at my brother's house,
Right.
and the map turned red on DoorDash. I said, all right, let me go out there. I mean, why it turned red is because I'm below the 100
Sure.
requirement.
Right.
So here, I'm gonna
And you've
let's see
only
what.
got one more
Oh,
day left in the month.
yeah, yeah. Uh, it's a rolling 30. Will just said he's in the room. I don't know. I was. Hey,
Well,
anybody
tell
out
him to
there?
get in here.
I'm yeah. No, get in here. He's let me see. Does he show up in here? I don't know. Anyway, so oh, let me turn this down. Turn it down. Oh, I had it on way too long. I didn't know if Will dropped a comment. Anybody out there? Hey, everybody, put it out there, right, that we're on out in the socials.
Exactly.
I was, but I don't want, I don't want this too lengthy. I was trying to type something, but anyway. So no, it's a rolling 30. So
Right.
every day pushes on the back end. The numbers fall off now. It used to be a
Okay.
block of 100. It used to be a block of 100 for the month. So that's
Right.
what it is. I was so successful because I would bang out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, my 100 delivery requirement, and then it would give me
Wow.
time to, if I don't want to dash, and then but
Yeah.
now it's a rolling
Then you could pick
100.
and choose the rest of the time.
Right, right. Now I can't. And that's what
Right.
happened. That's what happened. It was like, I'm just working my tail off just to keep that
Yeah.
100 afloat. And
Right.
I said, I got to do something. And, and, and I don't know, just something like, I got all this stuff here. I haven't had a chance to really play with.
Sure.
I got the Mac Mini here that I gotten back in a year or 2.5 years
I,
ago. I
I
haven't,
remember when you got that. Yeah.
I still like to make content, but I
Yeah.
just don't have the time to really put time into it. It was time consuming as it was. Um, so let me go on about now. The next thing is
Okay.
the app that they give you on DoorDash is a complete garbage.
Trash. Well,
It's
you have
trash.
been saying that since day one. I remember that
That
you have been texting
I
me.
mean, um, Instacart, it's not that bad. Grubhub is not that bad. The support that you call is sheer garbage. You're calling
On
another
all of
country.
them.
All
On
of them.
all of them. Or,
All of them. You're calling.
okay.
You're calling Pakistan, India, in that
Yeah.
region.
Right.
Maybe the Philippines, for all I know. Sorry, Rose.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, but the Philippines speak much better English in
yeah.
general, I'd say.
And you're
Yeah.
funny you say that. I know you're absolutely right. When I know and that's the thing. That's when I'm like, oh. The best one is I love the one I had the chicken and the dogs barking in the background. Do I have to say
Okay.
any more? When I'm on the phone calling support
Exactly.
and I got
Yeah.
chicken and dogs barking.
Yeah.
So the app is really bad for a company that makes well, I don't know. I think a $1 billion+ company. Um, they've been always DoorDash is always in the limelight and never in a positive way.
Right.
I feel us dashers, and I'm saying dashers. When I say dashing, I mean the whole
Yeah.
Grubhub,
The
Instacart,
whole business. Yeah.
Uber Eats. Here's Uber Eats.
Right.
We're looked down upon. We're oh, you're
Why are you looked down
why?
upon? Well,
because
you're doing a service and you're coming to their house and serving them. Yes.
well, now, and also at the restaurants, because there is a bit of a disparity in the amount of the people who are doing this. DoorDash
Yeah.
will check, of course, check to see if you supposedly don't have any felonies, air quotes.
Right.
Check to see your legal status, as far as the country that you're doing the DoorDash in. Um,
Exactly.
but some of the people that come to your door, you're like, I'm speaking. I've taken on orders. I ordered stuff and or going seeing people pick up. I'm the only weird one that's got a nice dress, a nice shirt. My car
Right.
isn't banged up.
Okay.
I
So
smell good.
you're the guy who sticks out there.
Oh yeah, I'm the guy with the flashlight on my forehead walking in. Did you ever
Okay.
see? Do you ever see the pictures I shared? I wish I had. I
I
literally
think
have
I've
a
seen one or two. Yeah.
yeah. I got a flashlight, and people look at me. I'm crazy. Well, if the customer would be so kind to leave a light on in the front porch,
Yeah.
and maybe
Exactly.
or sometimes where I deliver, I'm in Jersey. I'm
Yeah.
not just delivering in towns. I'm delivering out in the woods. So people
Yes, you
got,
are.
not
Yeah. Well,
lit up
from
driveways.
where you live, you can get out. You can get out in countrified in 5 minutes or
Right,
7 minutes.
right, right. So I got a light. I got a light that, man, I got this light from Anchor. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's like a cop light. It is
Yeah.
so
Good.
strong and it's rechargeable. I love it. Matter of fact, we love it so much we got a second one. We got one in both cars.
Oh, good. So now, see, Anchor's got a free plug here. This is good.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, that's just common sense on your part, so you can read the orders, so you can see how much they got
Yeah,
to pay
yeah,
and all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. I can just see where I'm not dropping in on booby traps.
Right.
People's lawns, people's properties are like divots and holes
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
there's, hey, Christmas time was the worst because Christmas everybody's got the lawn ornaments and they
Yeah.
got the cables, power cords running in different places you can't see them.
Yeah.
There, some of them
Exactly.
are faded in a color like a green color
Yeah.
and all.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
get it back to on the app. The app is just a completely amazing how awful it is. So
I
what?
remember in the beginning, you were almost every day saying what crap it is, but it seemed like you just kind of got used to it and you got good at it.
I got good at knowing what I have to do.
Right.
Sometimes I had to delete the app and go in. But I
Right.
want to say is what I've come down to, and you're going to
Right.
be just amazed. Now we're getting a little bit of tech here.
Yeah.
So I you know me, I like to try different phone companies. So I got in
Right.
Boost. Boost had their own prepaid plan called Boost Infinite. Now they just recently merged both companies into one because Boost is having financial troubles. Um,
Boost merged with who? Oh, with
what
Infinite.
they had, they separated, they made a separate company called Boost Infinite. And Boost Infinite was like trying to go on like a visible, like a cricket or what do you
Okay,
call that?
gotcha.
Metro kind of thing. They were trying to do that.
Yeah.
They were the ones they still offer today. You can get a free iPhone, but you got to go on their
Okay.
premium plan for $60 a month. Anyway,
Okay.
they had a plan for $25, unlimited everything. All right, I'll try it out.
$25 is kind of your magic number, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, that's a sweet spot. That's a sweet
Yeah.
spot for a total unlimited. Using
Right.
AT now he's using they had were or was using they first came out with AT&T service, so they were using
Okay.
AT&T. I thought, great.
Right.
They did roll out. They were some SIM cards were T-Mobile, and then they were rolling out a hybrid card, SIM card that used both towers, both
So it's
companies.
kind of like being an MVNO of either one.
Right, right. But
Okay.
I was stuck on AT&T, and then I kind of like I literally went through phones. I purposely
Okay.
switched phones to see which phone I got in. Let's see. I started off this with an iPhone SE when I first started.
Okay.
I picked that up. on the cheap. That was used from Amazon. Then I went to A54. I
Okay.
got the A54, and I was on that, and that was pretty good. I took it off only because I liked the phone so much. I wanted to use it for more personal stuff, if you know what I
Okay.
mean. I forget what else I got. I think I had. I picked up on Amazon an S21 Plus, and the only reason
Okay.
I got an S21 Plus was going back. This is how far back. Back when the S21 was was like February. They announced the phone. I was like, all
Right.
gung ho. Yes, I'm going to get this phone. I ordered the S21 Plus.
Hey, I still have
They,
my S21 Ultra.
the Plus. I had the Plus with the red. I got the special edition red with the gold around the camera. I
Cool.
ordered all these cases. I had all of these cases, screen protectors, and I kind of like chickened up because of the price. To be perfectly honest, it was the price. And what was going on for me personally and financially, I'm like, man, this is going to be bad. This is not going to work good here.
Right.
So I returned the phone, and I got all these cases. And the cases, I never returned them. So I like going,
Yeah.
all right, this is the time. I can afford to go buy one. I'm going to buy. I bought one from Amazon Renewed. I have to give Amazon Renewed both the iPhone. How many other phones I got? I'm trying to remember. But that and the S21. The S21 was a very solid phone. But
I agree.
I again because of the app, and then I switched again. I got my iPhone 15 Plus, and then
Okay.
the phone I bought from Will, the iPhone
Yeah, I remember
13
that.
Max, their 13 Pro. I had that
Right.
laying around, so I threw the SIM in that, and I was door
Yours was a
dashing.
13, wasn't it 13 Pro Max?
No, regular 13, regular
Okay.
13. So I uh, I still every time had problems with the app, had problems with connectivity. And I kept on thinking to myself, it can't be the phone service. It can't be
Right.
no, there's no way. There's no way it could be the phone service.
And that's what it was.
Wait a minute,
Okay.
it gets better. It gets
Okay.
better. So I say, you know what? I have this extra line that I gotten from Google Fi. Now I got 4 lines of Google Fi. Wait a minute. Five lines. 5 lines. I got friends of
I
mine.
hope Eleanor's listening. She thinks I have a lot of lines with 3. So there you go. Okay.
I got 5 lines, but 3 of those lines are being paid for. Again, it's me helping good friends of mine. I don't know if you remember me talking about Emily and
Yes.
Carol. Okay, I'm
Yes.
helping. I'm helping them out, helping them in a way that they pay me for the service.
Okay.
They put in their part, $75, because they can afford that. Their bill was like almost 200 for
Okay.
75 bucks. They were
So
like,
yeah,
oh, all
you
right, no
saved them
problem.
a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. And it was on Google Fi, and I wanted to try Google Fi out. And so I moved my number, all my gig apps, all my work apps
Right.
to a Google Fi number I had, and then of all phones, you're going to love this, my Pixel 7. I put
Okay.
my Pixel 7 on there, and you know what happened?
Right.
It's probably a 99% butter. Maybe once
Okay.
in a blue moon, I
Right.
have to hand it to Google Fi. I know they're on the T-Mobile towers. I'm really into bad sticks, when I
Okay.
have any issues. But even when I was in the sticks, not
Right.
the bad sticks, the regular, you know what I mean, out on the
Yeah.
fringe, I had service. I could make phone calls,
But
receive
isn't
data.
it amazing that the Pixel phone works on Google Fi? Who would have thunk it? You know.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's got to be that. I don't know. I don't know. Now going with the Pixel 7, if Brian's still in the room, yes, Brian, it's a toaster. It still
Okay.
gets hot.
Yeah, and Brian has said that multiple times.
It
Yes.
still gets hot. Uh, the Pixel phones, until they switch, I didn't, I even don't even want to even consider getting a Pixel 9. It's a waste of
Okay.
money. I have a
Now
Pixel.
I have a Pixel 9 Pro coming, but I'm trading in my Galaxy S23 Ultra for it.
Wow, really, you're gonna miss that.
And
You're
I
gonna
have
miss
a
that Ultra.
Pixel, and I have the new Pixel. I still have my S21 Ultra still, and I have a new Pixel watch coming. I'm trading in my Pixel 1 for this Pixel 3 watch. So,
Well, I can't say enough. All the apps, but the only problem is, it now it was still kind of cool when I did the switch. Cool as in like the weather. The
right.
Pixel definitely does not like hot weather. Put it that
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
It doesn't like hot weather. I know it's DoorDash because when I'm on Grubhub, the phone gets warm, tiny warm, but nowhere near. The Grubhub app is so demanding on its services. It,
Okay.
it and that's, I mean, even the other phones I mentioned, they all
Hmm.
got a little warm, maybe even
Right.
hot. It I went out dashing on one of those ridiculous hot days we had.
Right.
And I
Right.
and I was literally, I didn't have the camera. I couldn't take the picture.
Oh,
I
sure.
run
Yeah. When it's hot,
I
the
run back to
camera's
the
the first
car,
thing to go out. Yeah.
hold the phone up against the air conditioning,
That's what
feel
I
it,
had to do. Yeah.
run
The
back and
last
finish it.
3 days here in Chattanooga, it's been 100 degrees. The last today, yesterday, and the day before. So
So I'm afraid I would like to try a Samsung or a OnePlus phone on that phone
right,
line,
right,
but I'm afraid because
right,
I just have it's just so perfect. The Pixel 7 is a good size.
right.
I left it downstairs. I got a great case for it. I got a battery
Okay.
pack. I got a
See, I've
battery
already
that
traded my Pixel 7.
did.
Brian is saying Pixel 8 Pro gets warm also, but it doesn't overheat like the 7 Pro.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, my Pixel 8 Pro does get warm, but
Right.
I never really pushed it
Yeah.
either. So I don't know. But yeah,
When
that
I
was
had the Pixel 7, I had the regular 7,
mhm.
and you kept complaining about the Pro, and I kept thinking mine wasn't as bad, but on really hot days, the 7 didn't like it either, and of course, the
No,
camera would shut right
no.
off.
I will admit though, like I said, I hope the Pixel 10 will have that TSCM or whatever that other chipset is.
TR,
TS is it TS or
TSMC,
TMC?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I hope that I will consider trading in my 8
Well,
Pro
they
possibly.
make the best chips in the world, so yeah, it
I
should be the
I
way to
would,
go.
right, but I have no desire because I have got two phones that one is a definitely hand warmer and the other one could be a hand warmer. I'm very disappointed in the Pixel line as far as that is concerned.
Well, Tech Odyssey, he
Yeah,
has been saying the last week or so that he said in the video the other day that he's pretty happy with the Pixel 9 Pro XL because it's not overheating much at all. He said it's much better than it was.
well, too late now
So,
because if they go with
yeah,
this other chipset, you know what I mean? And I just now
yeah,
hope the other chipset doesn't cause a problem. You know what I mean? It's like it's working now,
right,
if you know what I mean. So,
right.
but
Oh, which reminds me, I didn't tell people my two carry phones for the day were the OnePlus Open and the iPhone
I got your
15 Pro.
iPhone going. Okay,
Yeah. So go ahead.
so I generally rotate my phones. Now that's the DoorDash part, and
Right.
it proved to me that my in the end the app is sheer garbage.
Right.
Um, it does put a load on people's phones. I can only imagine what it does to somebody that has an older phone,
Yeah.
uh,
Or a really cheap phone.
or a really cheap. I don't, yeah. I actually, you know what? I do. I will. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I did switch. I just trying out, like,
Right.
just trying out. did move the number to an AT&T line that I have,
Okay.
and I kind of put that correlation together because I'm like, I'm getting the same results, and then I had it in my OnePlus N30, and it
That
seemed
was
like the phone did pretty good until pictures. Boy, did it show! It was ugly
okay.
It was ugly at night.
And
It
I
could
still I
not.
still have my N30 also. So
It could not get a. It struggled in low light or no light.
okay. Right.
And now I got my headlight on, and I'm trying to put my headlight. I'm like, at times I'll put the headlight on the food and
Right.
try to eliminate the door and try and get a wide shot because I'll step back,
Right.
and it was just garbage. I was
Okay.
now granted when
But
you
you're
take
talking about a very cheap phone, so that kind of makes sense.
but also too when you take the picture, you're using the camera app that's in there.
Right.
I find it's very interesting as a nerd, excuse me,
Right.
that the DoorDash app, they take complete control of the device. There's no
Including
set,
the camera?
including the camera. Now, listen, what
Really?
I'm really now Grubhub. When I click take a picture, I have all my settings. I could
Okay.
I could make it wide. I could zoom in. Just like the Google camera app that
Right.
the buttons at the bottom.
Right.
In the DoorDash app, that's not there. That is
Now,
not
why?
there
I
at all.
wonder why they do that. I mean, that just seems like super overkill.
Well, look at the phone. Look what it does to these phones. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it and nobody really, I'm with other communities I follow and stuff. Nobody really complains about the phone. They complain
Right.
about the app,
Yeah.
and it does come in waves. It will hit it like the whole country. Everybody has a problem
Oh,
with the app.
really?
Oh yeah.
Same day.
hmm Yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
definitely when it hits, it's everybody. Um,
So that sounds like they're doing maintenance and it hits everybody at the same time.
I have no idea. I know though the what biggest thing is when it is busy, when it
Right.
is super busy, because you can tell how busy you are. You go to the stores, you're picking up food, you come across Dashers and Grubhubbers and
Yeah,
all.
exactly. Yeah.
So that people, the platform is busy. You try to call customer service, you're not getting it. You're not getting
I was
anywhere
gonna say
with
good
it.
luck with that. Yeah.
Right. So it does have a load issue, like when they're really demand is high. That could
Right.
be a problem. Um, what else was
I'm trying to get the camera just on you, and I can't figure out how to do. I'm not used to
it's
doing it.
okay.
That's why.
It's fine, George. It's good.
Okay.
Um, see what else tech wise. Oh, I almost did get the OnePlus Open, and you're going to
Okay.
probably tell me I'm a fool, but I am very very gun shy. I decided not to get the Open. I'm really still tempted, and right now the Open and the Fold,
Right.
both are having.
My
What's that?
Razor Fold from last year. The screen finally died all by itself. Totally died.
The
I
Razor,
had left it. I had left it. Yeah, I had left it sitting for a long time because I'm in love with my Open, and I picked it up after months of not using it. And I went to the screen is totally dead. The phone is coming on, but the screen's completely dead.
did you call customer service? You should
No,
be. There should be some.
I don't want to deal with customer service. I just said heck with it. I tried a
Really?
couple of phone places to see if they could repair it. They told me to take it to Batteries Plus. I took it there. They said we won't touch that.
No, they won't. Probably not. And that's the
Yeah,
problem, George.
but
That's
see,
the problem here.
I don't want to deal with customer service. I'm like, okay, I had it for like 9 months. I'm good. Let it go.
No, George. I would try, man. I would try.
I
I will say,
see, I'm
Bogle.
not like you. I can't get on the phone and stay there an hour and a half, 2 hours. I can't do that,
Nah, it wasn't that
and
long.
I don't have the time to do that.
I do admit the times I've been in, but this is years ago.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this is shortly after Lenovo bought them out.
Right.
I did have a problem with the phone. We kind of like disputed, but then they said, "Okay, we'll give you a refurbished." At least I got a phone.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
they took care of me.
Okay.
I think I did it on 2 occasions. They took care of me. So but that was a while ago. But I mean, that it shouldn't do that to you for a phone that's not even and
Not
that's
even
it.
a year old.
That's
Yeah.
that's the essence with this, George, is that the repairability of these
Yeah.
folding devices are not
Exactly.
there.
Yeah. That's going to
Are
cost you an arm and a leg, or you're
not
not going
not
to be able to get it done at
no go
all.
away. Not a cost issue. The sheer convenience of actually now again, I'm going to play two scenarios.
Right.
At my niece Emily, I helped her get a Pixel 8 through the Google
Right.
Fi program.
Right.
She had it for about 8 months. She got the green line of death going down the middle, and then
Okay.
the screen would turn green, like a shade of green.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I was involved because I was the one who owns the account, who operates the account, has the account.
Right.
Through the course of conversation and the people at Google, I heard all the horror stories. I can honestly say Google really worked with me the best they could, and we have the
Good.
phone replaced. But one
Good.
thing that absolutely galls me, absolutely, I was furious with this guy, and I apologized to him afterwards. But how could you say that this phone you're going to get in replacement is a refurbished? The phone is still new to this day. She
Yeah.
bought a brand new phone, and you're going to possibly give us, because I still haven't had a chance to get my hands on it to see if it's a refurbished one or not.
Right.
A refurbished phone, I can see, and this is before before the Pixel 9 dropped, so the phone's
Right.
still considered new,
Exactly.
and we got 9 people on. Good. Um,
Good.
the phone's considered new, and you're going to give us a refurbished one. And I purposely got her to pay extra for the monthly service for the in
Ooh,
case.
yes, I can see where that made you mad.
Right. I mean,
Eleanor's telling me she'll take care of the customer service. Yeah, Eleanor's good on the phone, and
good,
she'll stay at it. That's true.
good, Eleanor. I'll give you like $50 to get George's phone fixed. I don't know. That's ridiculous. So, but going back to what I'm getting at is,
I can see why you got mad.
right, but what I'm getting at is, I got that phone taken care of.
Right.
It was like, okay, we'll send you another one, Mr. Dixon. And he came in a very timely manner. And and they were constantly emails saying, hey, when are you going to send the phone back? When you send, because Emily doesn't live around here anymore. So it took some
Okay.
time to go get her phone, give me the old one back and all that stuff.
Okay.
But now we talk about these folding phones.
Right.
I bet you.
I have to say the OnePlus Open has been absolutely perfect. Still is. So this is why and remember that was the phone I picked as my phone of the year. It's still my favorite phone.
I don't doubt it for a second. It's killing me. It's killing me not to get this phone. But I already bought one folding device that had the screen protector, and I had a bad. I mean, to the point where
I remember.
right,
Yeah.
I had
it drove you crazy. Yeah.
New Z Flip I had, and it was a hassle to get a screen protector put on.
And
I
I
didn't even get
remember
it.
yours had trouble pretty quick. Mine didn't start peeling up until months later. I remember because
On your you still
on
have,
my
you have
fold, my pick. That I traded in a long time ago, but
okay.
Yeah, I eventually had it start peeling off too, but it was a lot later. But I remember
because I was using it, and that's the thing. I was using that phone. At one point, I think I was even using it as my work phone at my regular job.
Oh, so of course it got a lot more duty put in.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, if it can't handle that kind of load, what is it going to be after the warranty is up? Mind you, I
Yeah,
was
that's
still on
true.
warranty. So
That's true.
let's go back to my whole premise is I don't want to get a folding phone. It's killing me. It's absolutely
Yeah.
killing me as a
Well, see,
phone nerd. I want to get one.
because the OnePlus Open's been so good to me, that's why I don't go to the Samsung folding phones, because I'm like, I'm not going to beat this phone with a Samsung phone, so I'm just sticking with the OnePlus Open.
So I'm going to try and send you. You got your iPhone there, right?
Yes.
All right, I just sent you. I'm sending you a picture of what my not folding but large screen device to your iPhone.
Okay, I got it. Let's see. Let me see if I can show it on camera.
I don't know if you could.
There it is. You see it, folks?
It's a little blurry. It's a little blur. It's a little. Come back. Come back. Come back. Wow. It can't. It can't seem to focus.
It's my light is too bright, I think. But yeah, it
Okay.
looks great here. Yeah, it looks great here.
Well, that there is a Samsung Tab S9 FE.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. If you see the pen, here's the pen. It came with the pen.
Okay. Cool.
I forget the guy's name, but a YouTuber turned me on to the keyboard,
Okay.
and it's great.
That's awesome.
I do. I mean, it has.
And I gather it didn't cost you an arm and a leg either.
Traded in my S21 Plus that I had as a DoorDash phone. Okay. Got a few bucks off of that. I think in the end, it's cost me almost 200, like 190 for this tablet.
Well, that's not bad.
No, and it's this year's tablet, so it's going to get all the updates. It's getting all the. Eventually, probably you'll get the AI stuff and all the. I would think it would get all the AI stuff. It'll be just maybe much later. I already got my. I got my last update. I got the circle to search, and yeah, I think it doesn't fold, but I can close it up. It slides in my bag.
And you can take it wherever you need to go.
Right. And
look, I got Eleanor on the case. She's saying, I don't think that a phone that's only 9 months old should be doing that. Just make sure you give me the phone number of the people I need to call. Bring me the phone tomorrow.
You go, girl.
Yes. Saturday we go out to dinner, so I got to remember.
Come on, do it, George. Let her at it. Let her at it, George. All right.
Well, I'm glad you got that tablet. That looks like a good deal.
And it was like, and funny thing is, get mad props. My wife, she's probably not on, but she said to me, I'm like worried about because I wanted to use the computer I got because I know once I turn this on, I'm going to be here forever for updates. And she goes, well, why you just use the tablet? I'm like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. And here I am. And it's
kudos to Patty.
Yeah. I was worried about like battery life. Now I had this thing charged up right up until the end, and I'm at 92%. So whatever this stream, because in the past I'd done it on a phone once, and it just obliterated the battery on it. And it. I mean, look, I'm.
So you're doing well all the way around with that.
That's good. Yeah. So, last week I really put it through some paces. I added some more apps. I put some of my games on it. My Angry Birds. What do you call it? Royal Match.
You love your Angry Birds.
I like my Angry Birds. I can't. Yeah. So, what else is there? Oh, I wanted to share with you because you talked about watches, right?
Yeah. Right now I have my OnePlus Watch 2 on.
You're a fitness guy.
Yeah.
Now I have had this watch for probably a year.
Okay.
I got it downstairs.
And like Jay Will and everybody says they're really, really good.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. I'm not doing exercise like you do. It is catered to people like you. It does function as all those other things. Now, can I take phone calls on it? No. Can I do I tells me when I have a phone call? Yes. Can I respond to text messages? Yes.
Good.
I wear it. I love it for the sleep tracking. I'm very conscientious about my sleep and how I am.
I never wear mine for that, but I don't need it.
But it is relatively light.
Right.
It looks good.
Good.
You could swap out bands with I get the bands from Barton.
Okay.
And I switch bands on it. I cannot say enough. If you want to try a watch out, it's large enough. What's
My
up?
sick mind kicked in. You
What's that?
said it does. You said it does the exercise thing, and then you thought about the bands, and my mind went band on the run. I can't help it. It's a combination of sick mind, and I
Yeah.
used to sing that in the band. Okay, go ahead.
So and then this watch here, the OnePlus Watch 2.
Yeah, I love that. I love
This
mine.
those are my two favorites right now. The
Okay,
Pixel
my
Watch.
OnePlus Watch 2 is my favorite, even though my Samsung Galaxy Watch 7 is my newest watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I
She
said,
said-
I'll have the Pixel Watch coming. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I
What
yeah,
she say? I'm German and I'm a Jersey girl. I don't give a shit.
Give up.
I can attest to that very
Yeah.
easily.
yeah. So yeah, I love this watch, and like I said, I really like the Pixel Watch too. That's why I have the
Yeah.
2. I really like it, but it's too. I don't know if you saw. I posted on probably X.
Right.
I purposely gotten a something basically a guard for the
Yeah,
watch,
I remember that. Yeah. Right.
and it made it bigger. It made it look much better.
Okay. Yeah, and that's my complaint about the original Pixel Watch. It's
Too
small.
small. Too
The
small.
new one I'm getting, that's why I'm getting
They
the
got the
3.
bigger
and I get
one,
the bigger
right.
one. Yeah.
Right.
But they didn't make the bigger one till now,
Now, talk about watches. I gotten Patty. There was a great deal on a Galaxy. What number are we up to right now?
7.
Okay, I got Patty a 6 just before the 7 came out. They were having
Okay.
right around 4th of July. They were having this deal: buy one get one free.
Awesome.
All right. So Patty really needs a new watch. She has those. She has a Samsung Fit 2, I think it is.
Oh, that's
They had
way
like a
back. That's
yeah.
way back there.
And she herself likes knowing her steps. She likes to know
Right.
when she gets a notification. If somebody's
Yeah.
calling her, she doesn't like that feature. I got her a watch 6, the smaller one, and you know what it did? It kept on shutting off on her. It was shut off,
Really?
reboot. Yeah,
So did
and
you
she was
replace it or
already
anything,
she was already not happy with the size. She really wants a band. I'm gonna have to look into one of those bands like a Fitbit. This company here, this Amazfit, they have some
Uh-huh.
nice bands.
But
Band
did
kind of watches.
Did you get the watch fixed?
No, I returned it. It was still within my
Okay.
return period. I returned
Oh,
everything.
okay.
I got
Okay.
one because it's free,
Right.
but I returned everything. I say, you know what? Heck with it. I don't. No, no. If she don't like it, I don't want to take a chance with this because I really wanted this. The free
Okay, yeah.
watch was a free
Yeah,
watch.
it's a great. Yeah, it's a great watch.
I
Yeah.
love this watch. I
Me
still
too.
have on.
Me too. And
So-
I get 2 solid days with this watch.
Right. Yeah, I can get 2 days.
Yeah.
Can get to. Yes, I never had a watch. I could get 2 days, and then
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more, just a teeny weeny bit more. But then I'm pushing it. I'm going to have a dead watch on my hand.
Yeah,
But by the second day,
this is my best battery life watch of the 5 watches I have.
and the charging speed, George, is
Oh
it
yeah,
nuts?
it's OnePlus. You know OnePlus is always going to beat everybody.
I know, but I didn't know they could stuff it in a watch. Whatever they do.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Right here, this 10T.
Okay.
This is a phone that everybody hated. I don't know what the problem is, because this is a great phone. That is a great phone. Nobody liked it.
Didn't Big House have the 10T and he liked it? I thought last
Okay,
year.
well, I'm talking about the big time YouTubers. I'm talking about.
Oh,
Big
okay.
House. Big House is like us, a real,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
A normal person.
A normal person, yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, and so when I get the the 9 Pro, and of course that hasn't been released yet, but I should have it in about a week or two because I saw there was an actual change on the website today, which means they're probably going to ship that and the watch soon. But I got the Pixel 8a, and it's small. And the day I got it, I remember Eleanor would like the size of this, and I put a case on. I did a case video, but I brought it over here and I handed it to Eleanor. And as soon as she put her hand on it, she loved it, and I knew she'd love it. So as soon as I get the 9, I'm going to do a camera comparison between the 9 and the 8A, and then I'm going to give that to her because it's a
What does she
perfect
have
size.
now? Doesn't she
has
have
the
a?
Pixel, she has a Pixel 6.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
due for one. So Pixel 8A should be perfect for her, and I know she loves holding it. So.
Good. What else was there tech-wise?
Now you said you were going to say something about the articles we were talking about as far as the.
Yeah. First off, when you're talking about Telegram,
right.
it's interesting the perception, at least here, I'm talking about in my interaction in the United States. Telegram is bad. Telegram doesn't have encryption. You don't know what they're going to get into. My IT department found out that we had Telegram on our guys' phones, and I thought they were going to lose. They lost their wigs. They lost their. Okay. Oh, you can't have that on there. Oh my God, they don't have it. All these things. Oh, because
everybody
they got hacked.
that I know loves Telegram.
Right. So we had to kind of sweep that under the rug. We still have Telegram right now on the phone, on the company phone, but nobody knows it. But that's the thing I don't get. Well, let me just say this: for us normal people,
right?
I'm not sure. I'm not giving you money. If I want to send you money, I have another way of sending you money that's more reliable.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? PayPal comes to mind. There's Venmo and all those Cash App kind of things.
Yeah.
I just do it. I like it because I can have any device, and it works the same.
Exactly.
Just like how WhatsApp is.
I'll be talking to you or Will on Telegram, and I'll just go to my computer, and it doesn't matter whether it's computer here or computer at home. Doesn't matter.
Right. So, but
now, of course, you can say the same thing with Facebook Messenger too, as far as that goes.
Well, that's encrypted now. They make a big deal of it. They always send you a little pop-up saying it's encrypted. Ooh, it only took you how many years?
Well, that's because they own WhatsApp. They probably took the encryption from there.
Right. But no, what you were talking about. First, I was shocked. See, I tried to follow it, but I couldn't follow it because I couldn't. I always seemed to. I couldn't understand what was going on with arresting him and getting him in trouble.
Yeah, their big problem with he has never been as cooperative as Zuckerberg or any, because he has always had the attitude, it's privacy, it's none of my business, and he stayed out of it. The problem is, if governments, French, English, us, whoever, or even the Russian, is telling him there are criminals on there, and he's saying, well, it has nothing to do with me, that pissed them off. And I can see where it would piss them off,
Right.
I see his point of being a free speech purist, but if somebody's got child pornography and they're telling you that, I think I'd want to give them that because I know Apple will give you that.
And to hear what you were saying about, he's a very, very. There's a word for it. I can't think what it is, but very strong about free speech.
Yeah, and I hear he's a free speech purist, just like Elon.
And I see a lot of talk with the Ukraine army. They use Telegram, and I think Russia uses it.
So does the CIA. They use it like crazy.
Right. I'm trying to get something out there.
Okay.
On X at least.
But the fact that they arrested him has Zuckerberg nervous, has Elon. Elon, I'm thinking he's got to be the one they're going to go after next because all the liberals hate his guts now.
because
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 he let anybody express an opinion, even if it disagrees with the establishment, and they don't like that.
now, funny you mentioned that.
And plus the fact now he's a Trump supporter, so that's even worse.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't the same thing about the whole push about getting TikTok banned in the United States about
yes,
because
yes.
nobody can control it. Is that how I
Right.
understand?
Yeah, and the whole thing with TikTok, you know where it's coming from? It's coming from Google, it's coming from Apple, it's coming from Zuckerberg, because TikTok is topping them and they hate it. They're the ones who got this stuff passed in Congress.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're getting beat at their own game. So let's go after them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just found it interesting that the guy got. That's why I put it in there. Hey, George, the governor of New Jersey wants you to stop by. Come on and meet you at exit 2. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
The president of France says, come on by for dinner. Meanwhile, we're just gonna.
Well, the thing is, he's had lunch with him before, back in 2018. So my guess is he wasn't suspicious at all. But I mean, I thought that was as low down as I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. It is. It really is. I was shocked to hear that.
But Russian, French, us, Britain, they're all the same. They don't want people having anything out there that they can't see. They don't want any of us having. So that's one thing they all agree on.
Well,
and of course, all of us, you, me, Tucker Carlson, this guy, Elon, we think we have a right to our privacy. All the governments say, no, you don't either.
So let me ask you.
I'm sure Zuckerberg is scared to death,
Right. What do you think about all this AI stuff? And especially
I think it's a bunch of BS, number one. I think Sam, what's his name, head of OpenAI, I think he's a big huckster. He's making billions and billions of dollars. I think all the stuff they say about self-driving, that's not going to happen in my lifetime, and I plan to live another 30 or 40 years. That's what I think of AI. The new stuff that's on the nines now, some of the summarizing stuff, I think that's cool as all get out. I haven't even tried it yet, but generally with the stuff they're saying is coming, it may be coming, but it's probably 2 lifetimes from now.
They proceeded to do the reveal of the Pixel 9, and again they basically had another Google I/O all over again.
Exactly. Yeah, the whole thing was AI, but the thing is, they put some very cool AI features on those phones, like put yourself in the photograph after you've taken the original shot. That's very cool.
Have you put a phone with Gemini on it yet?
Yes, I have it on 2 or 3 of my phones. Do I use it? No.
I purposely wiped my N30.
Okay.
And started at a fresh account.
Okay.
Not associated to any of my personal accounts. And I got Gemini AI.
So you're using it more than me, I'm sure.
I'm using it to test it out. Now, my brother did it early on. Now, this is going back when the I/O was in May. It completely, first off, and everybody knows it completely wiped out. He had it. He has Google Home throughout the house. It completely wiped all his functionality.
Why? Because Google Home? Wow, yeah, because Eleanor and I both have Google Home around the house.
But when he told me it wiped it out, as in like, hey, G, turn on. He uses it to turn on lights throughout the house, to turn them off.
Yes, and so do Eleanor and I do the same thing.
Well, it doesn't. It gave him search results.
Okay. Have you tried it since you put it on?
I try it on every chance I can, and I think I posted one time about my results on something. I'm trying to think where I put it to which platform, but I shared my results, and it was like, "Come on, Google, come on, G, you got to do better in this,"
Yeah.
And I think I posted. I know I took pictures. I was out clearing some overgrown bushes and weeds and stuff.
Okay.
And Liam is kind of like he's like a little bit of a bug freak. He likes bugs and stuff. And he goes, "Oh, look at there are eggs." And he took a picture with his iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And he was searching using his iPhone. I said, "Oh, this is great. Let me get my Gemini phone out." Took a picture,
Right.
asked it what are these white blotches, and it says it does acknowledge that it is some kind of egg, insect eggs,
Okay.
but
It didn't know what it was.
it didn't know what it was. Meanwhile, as I'm struggling with Google Gemini, he finds out they're stink bug eggs
I was gonna say, I bet you Liam
on his iPhone,
nailed it.
whatever he was using. I don't know if he was using Google on his phone, but he found out what it was.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was just like, wow, that was okay. Here we go. I asked I found it. I found the post. I said I asked Gemini to read me Mike V from Team VRY.
Yeah, Mike Varay. Yeah.
Okay, well he did, and I said I asked Gemini to read me at Team. I tagged him on it. A piece from. Nope. Stop it doing it. Nope. No, don't. Stop. The piece from Fandroid, not the result I was hoping for. And I said, hey G, or hey Gemini,
Right.
find and read me the article from Fandroid about the biggest weakness. I says the biggest weakness of the Pixel 9.
Okay.
And it gave me everything. It did not give me the article. It did not find the article. It did not know
Really?
did not know what Fandroid. It gave me all these other things about.
As big as Fandroid is. Wow.
It talks about the biggest weakness isn't the Tensor G4. The argument is that while it might be there'd be some disappointment in the relatively small upgrade from Tensor G3 to the G4, the real issue is Pixel 9 lie elsewhere, and it goes into these key points.
Right.
But it's not from the
Fandroid.
Right. It did not find the article that I was talking about.
Right.
I specified the title and the news outlet. Did not find it.
Yeah, the fact you specified the title is especially bad.
Right. And that's the thing with all this AI stuff. Now, Gemini is supposed to be the hotness right now. I don't have.
Well, it's still not supposed to be as good as ChatGPT, but okay.
Well, hold on. Why we would? Okay, my thinking is this: Google, Gemini. They're from the same house. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And the whole thing with Gemini is supposed to be to work on these phones, Google phones, be it a OnePlus,
it's
a
like
Motorola.
Apple working with an Apple phone, yeah.
Right. And I hear you on the ChatGPT stuff. I don't want that.
OpenAI is just way ahead of everybody, and my
guess is it really that much?
Ahead of yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Now I have to go put that on a different phone just to try it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now OpenAI is the company. ChatGPT is the app.
And the other thing I don't like is you basically have to choose between Gemini and Google Assistant.
That's true. Yeah.
And I don't think you can go back.
I put Gemini on one of the phones the other day, and I actually let it wipe out Google Assistant.
I find Google Assistant way better on doing certain tasks and certain things.
So far, that's probably true. Now the way Google is talking, I'm thinking once we get up to the Pixel 9 and other phones start getting up to the same level, Gemini should pass Google Assistant. It should. And I'm thinking that should happen fairly quickly. I could be wrong.
Do you feel let me rephrase this. How many months do you think Google's going to will until they release all that Pixel exclusive Gemini AI Nano stuff to the rest of the platform?
I don't think they're ever going to release it to anything below, let's say, the Pixel 8s. I don't think it's going to back to the 7 or
You
the
don't
6.
think it's going to wait? You don't think OnePlus is going to get it? My Motorola, the
I'm
Samsung.
thinking, well, they might, yeah, because if they want to replace Google Assistant, the Gemini, you'd want to give it to everybody. That's true.
Right, but all the stuff they were touting, like you get a Pixel 9, you get all this fluff.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
and then like right now, it's exclusive, but like Will says, they always give up everything. So,
and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. That's what makes not getting a Pixel 9 at all.
Yeah.
Because in a matter of a few months, they're going to either drop little pieces, and also they're turning this AI stuff into a supposed money maker. You know, you got to pay a monthly fee.
And so they are. So is Apple. They're all going to end up doing that. I hate that, but there's nothing I can do about it. You know. And the Nano. Some of the Nano, at least pieces of the Nano stuff, is supposed to go on the 8A pretty soon. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when. Though. Yeah, somebody told me. I don't remember when it's going to happen though. You know.
Wow. I'm not.
So as far as using it on the phone, I think eventually it's pretty soon. I would think it's going to get pretty exciting for us using it on a phone. Past that, I think it's
How about you? Do you think that the contextual having the conversation with this AI machine, like they were demonstrating, having that conversation, do you think it's going to roll out to other phones? What's your thoughts?
I think it'll be a long time before it does. I don't see them giving that to other phones, but I could be wrong, you know. But I've seen probably 10 different reviewers using it with the conversational stuff, and it's just amazing and awesome. The thing is, you can ask it something and then interrupt it while it's still talking, and it still knows what you want. That's what I find amazing about it. I was watching somebody, wasn't Fandroid, it was one of the big guys the other day, and he purposely interrupted it like 4 times, and every single time it knew exactly what he wanted.
Now,
so that I think is pretty impressive.
I'm not sold yet, and on top of that, you know, it's gonna then. Are they going to have this contextual talk and all these things we're talking about? All this stuff going to be with a price tag. Like, you want this feature, it's going to cost you $20 a month. If you don't want it, we're going to give you bare bones crap. And the
year
Google
or two, it's going to be that way with all of them, with Apple, with Samsung, with all of them. You know, because they're all getting the same kind of mindset that all these car companies have. You have heated seats, you have this, you have that, but now we want you to do a subscription, otherwise you can't use it. That they're doing the same thing, you know.
And that's a shame, because they're going to put people in a spot where Google Assistant was the default. It was the default, and everybody could confidently use Google Assistant.
Right.
And now you're going to have a dumbed down version.
You're going to have a dumbed down version of Gemini on the other ones, except for the people who pay will have the really, really good version.
The really good one.
Yeah. So, nothing we can do about it. But this is how all the companies are starting to think that way. Car companies, refrigerator companies.
I know. If you want certain things, certain options to work, you're going to have to pay a monthly subscription.
This is the kind of thing that Louis Rossmann is on about all the time. He always says, you used to buy something and whatever came with it was yours. Not anymore. Now you buy something and whatever comes with it, they're going to turn it off unless you.
Funny you said that. Funny you talk about that. Now as you point that out. So I was out when I was, like I said, I was working on Adam's yard. And I had to run to Lowe's, and I was looking. I wanted to look because Adam's backyard needs a lot of. I didn't have a good enough weed whacker. I need one of those really strong weed whackers, and I was willing to pony up for it, just simply because I got a lot to cover.
Right.
So I'm looking at these different ones, and I'm like, okay. And Liam, he was with me, and he goes, yeah, hey, look, it says you got to buy the battery and the charger separately. Now, I don't know about you. You just bought a weed whacker. It doesn't
Yeah.
come with a charger and a
Yeah,
battery.
so you can't even use it unless you buy something separate. That is so stupid.
Right, right.
But
That was just yeah.
this is how they've all gotten. Now, Louis Rossman has moved out of New York. He lives in Austin now. But
Does
when
he?
he's talking to, yeah, he moved there about 7 or 8 months ago. And he moved the people that work for him too, like the 5 or 6 people that work for him. He moved them there too. But when he talks about this stuff, he still curses up a storm like he always did. You still know he's from New York. You know, this is a Brooklyn guy all the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But do you know how Louis became so popular about repair, self-repair and that kind of stuff? Because he was on this, I guess back in 2015, 16, something like that. And he kept making videos about it. Well, the guy that he works now he has people that work for him, but he also works at another guy's company. That guy had originally seen one of his videos. Louis did not have the money or the clout to get what do you call those guys who try to influence the Congress people? You know who I mean, that I keep saying should be illegal. But anyway, Louis didn't have the kind of money to pay those people. This rich guy gave him $1 million so he could hire lawyers to do it. And this is how some of the laws got passed. And this is the guy that he works for now. And that's why he has over 1 million subscribers.
What's in Texas? This guy?
Oh, he got sick. He got sick to death of New York State with their stupidity. They tried to charge him 2 years ago, I think it was. They tried to charge him something like $3,000 or something for something he had paid for 9 months ago, and he had the receipts. They kept going after him for months, and I think that was kind of his last straw. But he has made so many videos in New York. He's made videos with them on the phone in Albany, and boy, did they sound stupid. And he just finally got fed up with the whole New York crap. So he just up and moved his whole company to Texas.
So I just find it interesting. He picked Texas, and another guy picks Texas. You got Elon Musk. He moved a lot of his stuff to Texas.
They are now calling Austin the Silicon Valley of Texas. That there have been so many tech companies moving there. All the tech companies that are moving out of California, they're all moving to Austin or right around Austin.
Prices just for living in California is ridiculous. So
exactly, yeah, almost nobody can live there.
So
anyway, we should probably wrap this up. It's getting late.
Yeah. I just that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Okay. Well, it's been so exciting having you on. This is nice.
I know. It's good to be on. It's good to take a Friday night off. I actually took last Friday off. I was thinking I could make it back, but I didn't. I don't know if you saw the Instagram photos. We were all the way down to Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh yeah. You had photos going for 3 days.
Yeah. And that was the thing I enjoyed. The phone, taking this phone, taking that phone, taking pictures of this, trying this out. It was. I'm still doing the tech thing, but I'm not doing it like I used to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do like I used to.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of wheeling it back because I'm just tired. I want to just take a day off.
Well, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And we're the ones who benefited. So I'm happy.
Yeah. I might be able to pop on more often. If I can work this out to where I can have a Friday night every now and then off, I'm gonna just if I know, George, I'll let you know ahead of time. If not, I did enjoy popping on just to shake you up.
I was gonna say, if you want to just pop in, you can pop in anytime.
Oh, I know.
You and me and Will are the originators of this. So
yeah, I know. But I just enjoy that. I'm like, I'm gonna sneak on there. Yeah, you
And,
know what I
and,
mean.
and
So
that was a very, very pleasant surprise to all of us.
yes, yes. So that's about it. I'll I will definitely try to. I know it's a little bit of a ways, but there's always the Black Friday show
Yeah,
that I like to
I know
participate
you
in.
like to
If
do that one.
yeah, yeah,
That one's become yours every year now.
yeah,
So
I definitely want to take time out to get that done. And
sounds good.
I'm looking there. There are some tempting deals right now.
Yeah.
For the Labor Day
And yeah, you
weekend.
got the Labor Day. You got the Labor Day deals this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. So one last thing. I would just want to end on
Go
this
ahead.
real quick. I posted on there that it's happening again, and what's happening again is, and I don't really remember. And then about the same time, MKBHD said the same thing that he left Pixel. He left his Pixel for a OnePlus device,
Right.
and that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I already had
Yeah.
a Samsung watch, but I wanted to have some kind of wait a minute. What I was doing Econus.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
if you ask me right now, what's my best phone? My best phone's a OnePlus 12.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though my OnePlus Open is my favorite phone, my best picture taking phone is my OnePlus 12. It's better than my Samsung phones. It's better than my iPhone.
I took some really wonderful pictures on this OnePlus phone.
Yeah.
And I'm very pleased with it. I'm
Yeah.
very
The OnePlus
pleased
12
with it.
is OnePlus 12 is awesome. My guess is when the OnePlus 13 comes out next February, I'm guessing
Mhm.
I'll probably end up getting that too and trading in my 12.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
thinking.
so impressed.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
remember,
yeah.
we had all fallen off the OnePlus wagon for a while, and now we're
Wow.
all jumping back on.
Back on because everybody didn't seem to. They were all worried about how the whatever. What was that OS they called it? The OnePlus OS.
I don't remember.
See, that's how much has changed. We forgot what it was called before, but now
Exactly. Yeah.
what it is on here, I like it. I feel it's very intuitive. I feel like I can maneuver through it, and
Exactly.
I will admit that there's probably deals on OnePlus for Labor Day. And that's the one I'm going to look into.
Sure.
I got to get a few things with that old iPhone of Will's. That one the 13
It's not
Pro, but
Will's, it's yours.
well, it was Will's. I just had to have it. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to use that as a trade-in. I just got to
Yeah.
just do a few things. I still need it for some things, and if I can get it done and get it ordered, I'm probably going to do the OnePlus 12.
Okay.
Or as much as I don't want to, I might trade this in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to
The
see.
OnePlus Plus 12, I would highly, highly recommend.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Yeah. So, all right, George.
All
Well,
right.
thank you very
All right,
much for
thanks for
letting me
coming.
have the
All right,
stage.
guys, we had a great present for Labor Day. We got Mike, so enjoy it. All right, Mike. We will see you guys next
See my
time.
long name, Mike DoorDashing Simply Your Voice Dixon.
Exactly. All right, guys. I will be back next week. We'll get Mike back when he's back. So you guys have a very blessed weekend. And let's remember, we all do better when we love each other. Good night, folks.
Bye.